Hello guys, before the video started, um, I just wanted to come in here and say we recently beat, if I go create run Nightmare, we have Act 3 unlocked. We recently beat Act 2. You can see we have all the starting points before we beat it. So next is going to be Act 3 for us. Looks like you only get one checkpoint. And I just wanted to show you guys that because if you like what you see in this video and you want to see an Act 2 on Nightmare, let me know. I have some gameplay footage for that, and I'll also place some of that gameplay footage in this video as well so you can see Nightmare and how it is. And yep, that's all I wanted to say. Alright, hey guys, I just wanted to make a video. I recently um, completed all of Act 1 right here, as you can see, a few days ago on Nightmare completely. And I just wanted to say, because I know a lot of people have been struggling with it, I just wanted to kind of go over what worked for us and kind of like our strategies that we used. And I'm going to be going over builds. I'm going to be going over each strategies for each of the first 4 levels, because that's where, getting past the first 4 levels is the hardest by far. So we go through the builds and then the strategies we use in the first 4 level, and maybe some general stuff that you didn't know that you can use to your advantage. The first thing I would say is we only actually played with 3 people, which is kind of weird at first hearing it. We used one bot, and the reason why we used the bot is because we didn't have a full 4 people, but then we realized that using 3 would actually be easier. We used the bot to basically allow us to give, because the bot will always use all of its equipment. It will keep all of its equipment as well. So it will throw Molotovs that has Molotovs. It will use med kits on you if it has med kits. It kind of seems like it's a cooldown based thing. So it's not exactly just spam it, but it is infinite. He never runs out of Molotovs. He never runs out of med kits. They can also take reduced damage. They can tank stuff. They as well can also kill the snitches without alerting anything. And even if you have the card where the snitches always alert, they will still not alert a horde if they kill it. The builds we used, I played Melee Holly, actually. One of the most broken builds in the game. I wasn't using everything completely in here that I currently have, but I would say the first 3 are the big components. This temp health, this heal, and more temp health, and for your allies, these are huge. This is what allows your build to work, basically. That and adrenaline field is very important. I'd say the first 7 are definitely the biggest and most impactful ones. Other than that, you can kind of change the rest around, but I'd say at least get these first 7. Those first 7 are super, super strong, and you especially need them on Nightmare. If you run around with these first 7 in Veteran, you're unkillable. On Veteran, you could do whatever you want. I'm sure on Recruited it would work the same. Just go wherever you want. Nightmare, obviously, it's really good, but, obviously, there's going to be more, like, Blight, corruption cards to shut you down, and fire zombies to do a little bit more damage. My teammate played shotgun mom because we need mom to have a res, because you don't have res as a Nightmare. Like, you have no downs, you just insta die unless someone runs a card or plays mom, because mom gives everyone a life. So we had our teammate play mom. He ran full shotgun, full weak spot damage. I don't have my teammates' builds on hand, but I can get them for you. If you guys need them, just ask me in the comments. I can get you guys links to those. My other teammate ran Carly, actually. Ran a lot of use speed and some damage and movement speed, and like stuff like that, because he didn't play a ton prior to the Nightmare run we did. So he didn't have a lot of the cards unlocked yet. So that's why he went with that. Before I get into each level strategy, because this is like the stuff that you guys actually probably want to hear the most. Before I get into the level strategies, I will say maybe some basic stuff that, well, not super, it's not like basic, but it's just stuff that's really easy to do that if you don't know about, it could help you tremendously. And the first one, and the easiest one, is like you can break down like the alarm doors without triggering them by shooting around them with a gun without a silencer on it to try to get the zombies on the other side of the door to break the door for you. I'm sure a lot of people know that's very common. The other ones are that you can actually kill the crows with just your regular guns. You can do it with 2 people if they have automatic guns. You can even do it with 1 person if you have an AA-12 amongst you guys. Another tip, dodging the crusher. You can dodge the crusher. I'm sure you guys try to outrun the crusher. They always catch up to you. You can actually dodge the crusher by running towards him, not away from him. When he's about to grab, you kind of run to the left or to the right of him, and he won't be able to turn if you run at the right time. You can't run too early, but if you run when he's gonna grab soon, you can dodge him by running straight through him to behind him or on the sides of him. I'll put a link down. We had a AMA, and a lot of these questions were asked in our Reddit post. We wrote some tips out like that for you guys there. But let's get down to probably the biggest thing you guys want to know is the strategies for the levels, because let's be honest, the levels are very hard. Level 1 is not that bad. Like the first level of Nightmare is not too bad. The second level is pretty hard with the ogre. The third level is even harder than the second level, I would think. And the fourth level is not as hard as the third, but it's still like it's no walk in the park. Like these levels are definitely very, very difficult and require a lot of like skill and, you know, coordination with your team. Definitely, no question about that. So the level, I'll get right into the level 1 strategy. So for level 1, you want to, you know, just go through the game like normal. You're not going to have any cards. You're not going to really, you know, your builds don't work yet. I would just say if you get blight zombies on your corruption, feel free to re-roll. Feel free to just start the campaign over. Blight zombies are very hard for melee specifically to deal with, but with a lot of people in any close quarters, the blight zombies just do so much damage. If you get that, you should just reroll, honestly, if you want an easier time. Other than that, you want to go through the map like normal, and when you get to the bridge part, to lower the bridge, where you previously came in at, where the ceiling is caved in, you want to hold there for the horde when you alert the bridge. If you want the easiest time, you don't have to. It's not super hard, but that's the easiest time you'll have. If you sit above where the floor is caved in at, you guys can all play there, and you'll have a really easy time handling the horde that way. And other than that, just go through it normally and try to go slow. That's what we did. Just go slow and, you know, kite back all the big mutations you get, and slowly move through the map. Try not to trigger alarms. Obviously, that's what you know. I'm sure you've done so many videos, but for the first level, that's like there's not a whole lot to it. Now the second level, there's a lot of stuff you can do here that you might not know about. So in level 2 of Act 1, the biggest strategy I would go with is to skip the ogre in the beginning by stacking pipe bombs. You know, throw one pipe bomb right before you guys trigger the ogre, and skip it. Just run past the ogre. Don't even fight him in the beginning. It's not worth the resources. It's not worth people dying, people getting downed, and then you might even lose there. It's just not worth it. Just throw a pipe bomb, run to the tunnel. If you're running a melee build, even perhaps have that player run in front and kind of push through the doorway in the tunnel, because I know that can get kind of like a little clogged up. You just want your melee to push through and clear the zombies for you the best he can. If he's running, you know, if you're running like my build, for instance, you should have no problem, and unless you're going against blight zombies, you could still do it. You just might go down there, or your melee person might go down, or you might take a lot of damage, but you will be able to get through. And then kind of regroup in that room, give yourself some time, then slowly work your way through the tunnel. When you get to the next tunnel where the ogre spawns again, where you're supposed to fight him the second time, if you run all the way back immediately when you trigger his spawn, you can actually get him to despawn. You can actually despawn the ogre if you were able to run back quick enough before he fully spawns in. We didn't even do that in our run, but I know it's possible because we have done it before. We didn't do it in our run because our bot would not move quick enough, and he made it where we couldn't despawn the ogre because you do have to be kind of quick. But it's not a necessity to have to do it. If you don't want to despawn the ogre, you can kind of sit inside and let him reach his arm in repeatedly, and just until you get him down to, when you get him down to half health, he will actually just go under the ground and never come back, because if you never fight him at the beginning, he will never go down to half health. So if you get him down to half health the second time, he'll just leave and you won't have to fight him again for the rest of the level. After that, you go out of the tunnel, and the safe room is going to be near the left. You're going to want to work through the tunnel slowly, you know, clear everything slowly all the way to the safe room then, and you should be fine. You can get to that point. That's the hardest point. If you need to, on that same level, get the toolkit for the door that's inside of the tunnel area. You know, toolkit that door. There's gonna be heals in there, attachments for weapons, maybe even better weapons. So yeah, definitely use that, and those are gonna be like the biggest things to help you out there. Level 3, by far the hardest one. If we're gonna be honest, going through the whole thing slowly like normal is gonna be the answer until you get to the gravel part. The gravel part, I do have some big tips there. I would say if you get the corruption card for boss and it's an ogre, every time you trigger the ogre, just run it all the way back to the safe room and just kill him from within the safe room, and you'll be completely safe. All you have to do is back up every time he throws the meatball, and then, you know, go back to shooting him. He will never even attack the safe room. He will never even reach into the safe room. You can free shoot him. He can't do anything. On this map, I would also recommend to get the toolkit for the end with the minigun. You're going to want to open up the minigun for the gravel part, because, you know, you call the horde, the gravel pile stacks at the trains. That's definitely the hardest whole area of the map. So what you're going to need to do is, once you get to that part, and the way you get to that part is, like I said, if you have to fight a boss, do that strategy. If not, you slowly go through the map, and I mean slowly, like just kite every mutation, slowly kill the commons, try to get no alerts on the crows or anything like that. You know, if you have 1 or 2, that's okay, you can still win. But when you get to the train part, it's a crescendo event whenever you start the horde, meaning that, and it's only for Nightmare. Recruit, I've never played. I'm gonna assume it's not a crescendo event because I'm veteran. I know for a fact it's not a crescendo event. But for Nightmare, it is a crescendo event, meaning that zombies will spawn endlessly until you get to the safe room. So whenever you trigger the horde for the gravel, what you're gonna do is, for the setup, I'll try to show a picture maybe if I can, but where all the trains are, there's gonna be like those one train has like a set of boxes that go pretty high, and then next to the box one, there's gonna be a big blue cart of the train, and top of it is very high off the ground, and you want your whole team on top of there, and you want to set up the minigun on top of there with your toolkit and set it up facing towards the gravel, and you're gonna have one player sit on that, on the minigun, and only kill the mutations. Well, not only kill, but anytime he sees a mutation, he needs to focus that. The other player, if you have a melee in the group, this is where it's super strong, especially if you're running my build, can sit on the back and completely hold down and he's gonna give, whoever the melee player is, if you have that card, is gonna give your team an insane amount of temp health, because the melee player should easily be able to hold down that slot, since all the zombies have to funnel to one spot, and then the melee player just can go to town and give his whole team temp health and hold it down from behind. And you're gonna just do that. You're just sitting in that spot with everyone up there and the other 2 players up there, or other one, how many players you do it with, and everyone's gonna sit up there on top of the blue train until you see the gravel. If you get overran by like too many mutations coming behind you and you can't clear them, then jump off. The gravel doesn't take super long to get up there. You don't have to wait for it to completely be done to be able to make the jump over the train. You just need to wait long enough where you can. And this is why I would save some pipe bombs, because you're going to want to pipe bomb 1, maybe even 2 pipe bombs there. You're going to want to hold it. I know it's going to be hard to hold it through the map, but you got to have a pipe bomb for that part. So you can pipe bomb, and then you're just going to run to the safe room. Like, you're just going to bolt. But do not forget to check all the sweeper spawns. And if you don't know them, then just try to listen for the sweepers. If you hear them nearby, check all the walls when you're running in. There's a ton of sweeper spawns, and they will try to get you at the end. And you do not want to spawn another horde while that event is going on, because that horde that you spawn, it will spawn mutations in front of you, and they will cut you off, as well as a ton of commons. So you don't want to trigger any sweepers. You want to throw the pipe bomb. You guys all want to try to jump the train and run to the exit. That's honestly the best strategy, because it's the crescendo event never ends. You just have to make a mad dash for the exit and not get hit by sweepers. The level 4 strategy, the boat part. You can buy a bunch of pipe bombs if you have a lot of money. You can even buy more than you guys need and kind of throw them down, or whatever resources you guys want to use, and throw them down by the red tank that you use to break the concrete wall, and just keep them down there. And then whenever you break the wall, use your pipe bomb, pick up another one that you might put on the ground that you bought before, so that way you guys have more pipe bombs. You can throw one right off the start, pick the one off the ground. It depends on how many support upgrades you guys have, how many offensive upgrades you guys have. But, maybe you can pop some stuff right before you blow it up. And then you want to save a ton of pipe bombs for that level as well. You're going to want to pipe bomb when you have to go back in to plant the bombs, and then when you're trying to get out to go back to the boat. The number 1 strategy I would say that you need to do is the minigun that you get on the bridge. You want to put it all the way on the top of the bridge, almost where it's on the boat, facing all the way down the boat, like facing the long ways of the boat. Because if you don't, and you put it back by like where they have their Humvees and they have their turrets and all the other like CPUs are at, if you put it that far back, you won't be able to get back on the boat, because the zombies are going to endlessly spawn, and you won't be able to keep up, and you'll never be able to push back to the boat, and it's extremely hard. And you're going to have to waste a pipe bomb maybe, and even still, like, it might still be hard because there's so many mutations. So you need to make sure that you put that minigun at the top of the bridge, very close to the boat, where you can see down the boat, and you need to get someone to get on that point and minigun the horde back a little bit. Just push back the horde a little bit, enough where the players with the bombs can then at least get onto the boat, throw a pipe bomb, go down their separate ways, split up. Don't do one at a time, split up so you can do it faster, and plant each bomb, and throw another pipe if you have to, and then both plant the bombs. And then all you need to do is get one person to get out. That's all you need, just one person. If some of your friends die, just leave them. That goes for like any mission. If you're near the end and you can almost get to the safe room and you're so close, just leave the other players behind. It's not worth saving them. They'll come back with their stuff. You just need to get to each level without failing. Like, that's literally the goal. And those are just the strategies I wanted to go over for the first 4 levels, because let's be honest, that's where everyone is struggling right now in Nightmare. Once you guys get past those first 4 levels, I can tell you it is super, like, it's not easy, but it is not nearly as hard as the first 4 levels. The latter half of Act 1 is a lot easier, and I think that's how it's going to be for all the acts. We are finding out more and more that speed builds are extremely strong. We couldn't beat the first 2 levels of Act 2. It was so hard, and it was so hard when we were trying to go slow. We might trigger an alarm here, or we might get some bad cards here. Now we're just doing speed build, run, leaving all the mutations up, and just only killing the common and just kiting them around and then going through the level, because it seems like that is the play. But you can't always do that on the more narrow maps. but I just wanted to throw that in there as something that you guys could try. And basically, I know there's a lot of information in this video, so I didn't want the video to be too long, but I'm gonna fully show the gameplay in here and everything. And I just wanted to share some of my tips that me and my team did and the strats that we used, since I feel like there's not really a lot of videos out there, if any, about most of the information on how to beat the first 4 levels, or how to, about like specific stuff on Nightmare. So yeah, I just wanted to go over that. And if you have any more questions, you can ask in the comments below. Like I said, I'll link the Reddit down below. And if you want to see how we actually end up being Act 2 as well, let me know, and I will show you how to beat Act 2 on Nightmare, and what we used. It was a completely different approach than this one. So in this one, we played very slow. In Act 2, it's all been purely speed, letting half of our team die every time. I'm not gonna lie, except for the last few levels where you have to kill the ogres on Act 2. And there's a bunch of mutations, but in the beginning, it was all full sprints, and that's how we were able to beat Act 2. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else, but yeah, if you guys want to see that, let me know. And thank you for watching. I know it was a lot of information. See you guys.